The short story is that my wife actually discovered it, and she was the first one to be pretty much on board from reading the books and getting on the website and then taking the course. The first break of the course is when I called my wife and says, we have so much things to do now. And I was totally on board. I was doing the bits before that, but I was not 100% aware until I took the course, and that was really amazing. He was 8 months old when she started doing the program from the institutes. We have video of before the course. Samuel was 4 months old, and I'm showing him ABCs. I'm laughing about it because it's quite silly at this time. But he's propped up on our couch. He's got nowhere to go, and I'm in front of him, and I'm showing him the letter A, and on the back of it, it has an apple. So I show A, and I turn around, I go apple, and I go A, and I go apple, and he's looking, of course, and he's like, okay, A, I get it. I'm like, apple, and A, and it's apple, and I just kept doing it, and finally his hand came up and just swatted the card out of my hand. And at that time, I was like, oh, that's so cute. But when I look back at that, I was like, I was killing the kid. I mean, I realized after knowing what the program is about and just the attention span the child has, and they just want so much more, I was really, really destroying him, and he was just trying to communicate with me as best he could. One day he was on my shoulders while I was doing the dishes, and it was a day in March when it snowed, and the snow was melting because it's March. In the middle of the day it started melting, and he just kind of looked down at me and he says, I guess snow doesn't have silicone. And I'm like, okay. I was like, because it's melting. I was like, okay. I was like, okay, what are we doing to our kid here? But when I asked my wife, she wasn't really sure, and about a couple of days later she said, yeah, I showed him the element silicone, and I explained to him that silicone is used in tires so that the sun doesn't melt the tires. It raises the melting point of the rubber. So what he did is he just intuited the information from that application, and he says, well, it must not be in snow because the snow's melting. Whether it's right or wrong is not important. What's important is he took information he had been given when he was very little, and he intuited it to his environment. And to me, that's when really everything clicked. And it was just about him having access to information, and used in that way, he was able to interact with his world around him. And that's when it really impressed me what we were doing. He was 2.5 years old when he had done that. Yeah.